Yes, but speaking of that, digital, you kind of step back into being in your book YouTuber like bag. So I'm interested to hear what made you go back to creating more consistently on YouTube, and can you talk a little bit about your book chat series?
Yeah, so the whole return to Booktube was I actually returned because of the drama that erupted at the end of last year with the book bombing scandal. And I was just like, TikTok is great. And usually on TikTok, I'll make, short clips using popular sound that I think relate to it, or maybe just, a short review or something like that. But I'm like, I need more time. I need more time to speak. I'm like, there is no way I can do it. I love that TikTok has like increased the time that we can record now to 10 minutes, but I'm just like, no, not enough, not enough. So I was just like, well, this is the time that I'm going to return, jump back in there, and for some reason, it kind of just seemed like there was just scandal after scandal in that time. And so I was just like, okay, this seems like a great time to make a return and actually try to be consistent. I think YouTube is harder to be consistent on because yeah, people kind of expect consistency on YouTube, whereas TikTok, you get what you get on your FYP, don't you? So I think the scandal brought me back, but it kind of just reminded me how much I actually love discussions, even though I'm technically talking to a screen. But then, like, obviously through the comments, you get to hear other people's point of view, and it's just like a back and forth with like, your commenters, and even watching other people's videos as well and see what they think. And then it like just like that video and the next, I'm just like, oh my goodness, I really, really enjoy this. I definitely have to stay on here because yeah, I actually really love this. And slowly but surely, I think I'm even like my I'm leaning more towards YouTube nowadays, to be honest.
Yeah, talk to me about the importance of I would say bookish video commentary or journalism in understanding and making the book world a better place. Because I see a lot of your videos are talking about the dramas and all that.
Yeah, I honestly think I think it's really, really important because I think for one, it just is in terms of like accessibility, I think it definitely helps. In today's day and age, everyone is moving, life is lifing for everyone, and some people just don't have the time to really sit down and like properly read a journal. And let's be real, a lot of people just aren't even inclined to read like articles and journals. Like I like people can read 650 pages straight of like high epic fantasy, but I think when you now pick up a journal that are quoting facts and figures, like people are just like, that's a bit too much. And so I think for accessibility, it kind of just like gives people another way to like take in like what's going on. But more so than that, I think there um bookish videos allow for more diversity when it comes to like reporting what's going on, not just in the type of people who are speaking, but more so like the actual opinions themselves. I think when it comes to like reporting the news or reporting things that happen in the bookish space on like web articles or blogs, it's kind of just like, oh, if you work for one company, you guys have several people working for you, but there's only one article or two articles that comes out on this one situation, and we don't know if it reflects everyone's thoughts. I mean, they will say this reflects, the values of the company, but individually, what does everyone think? So I think with bookish videos, you get that. You get the diversity of thought, and because you get like the comments, it's also great for engagement. I know that obviously with blogs and articles, you do have the opportunity to like leave comments, but I think with bookish videos, it's definitely more engaging. Like the poster is having like proper conversation with people who are commenting, whereas on like other articles, it's like it doesn't happen as much. So I think that, that engagement also is really, really important to actually just see where are people's heads at, like where do people stand, what do people think going forward, with whatever has been discussed in the video. So I think like bookish videos are super, super important. Like that change in media and how you consume your information is definitely important. And in the digital age where people are like not just used to, but like more so enjoy taking in different forms of media, I think it's great for entertainment purposes as well. Like I can read, an article and that's great, but I can also watch a video and get a bit of enjoyment in it. The videos always come with the video recorders' personality and their own personal takes, and that always, that definitely gives us a lot of fun.
Yeah, you hit a good point because a lot of times when something goes off, say it's on Book Talk or Bookum or anything that happens that we're not sure like what happened, people are just kind of like, hey, I can't believe she did that or this person did this. And you're trying to find the thread of like the whole conversation. And then you go onto the internet and you try to type in some of these names. So you're like, that author that came at this writer, what was that? And you go look and there's nothing there. So you are talking about a great point. A lot of times these things are happening and there's not really a great journalistic moment that's like talking about it. So with your videos and like other obviously other content creators that talk about it, you bring in that
Yeah.
worldview, especially even kind of going back to what we're talking about, the way you see it internationally might be different than how we see it in
Mhm.
America.
Yeah, and I also think, to be fair, I think it's more so from my experience, but from what I've experienced from being on BookTube, like and even Book Talk, like people are fairly supportive as well. So even with my recent video, I was just like, guys, this is what I've collected in terms of information. But I was just like, do go and check out with Cindy's video because she's an amazing booktuber and she always has great informative videos. And booktubers are not afraid to do that at all. It's just like they're not afraid to refer you to another video or just tell you to go and support another person who you can get more information from or a different perspective from. So I think that space as well from the creator side is great in terms of like bookish videos.
That's a good point. And how do you decide what you want to talk about? Because there's a lot of book drama. I don't know if you can just go into every single one that comes out. So, how do you decide which ones are worth having your commentary on it versus ignoring?
Generally, it's sometimes not even a decision. It's more so what comes at me. I think I'm not on the side that has too much drama. It's more so that, one week my feed will be exploding with just one specific topic, and then I'm just like, I need to actually go and look into what is actually going on. So I think my feed is, very helpful with that. It never like hits me with like multiple things going on at once, and I don't actually go seeking out drama. I'm just like, at this point, I will do that. I think initially when I even created the booktube, it was really just talking about like the books that I enjoy, giving people reviews, yeah, giving you guys insights into like what you can pick up, what books are coming out, in the next few months. And I think obviously in recent months that's changed a bit. I do reviews and I definitely love doing reviews as well. But actually, yeah, speaking on the drama or just like I guess I'm starting a conversation on just general topics in the book world, I've found like has been really, really fun. And so what I did like a few weeks ago was really just come up with a list of just topics that I like that were just like a top of the dome that I thought like, were really great to discuss or would be great to discuss. And I want to, discuss it with others. And so I have those topics. And, when it's time to record a video, I'm just like, okay, which one should come? But if there's drama that week, I'm like, that I will take priority on that just to see, just to get it out there. Yeah, so I now have a list of topics. I spoke about like overconsumption in the bookish world a few weeks ago, and I have just a few more topics to like go on for the next few weeks. Um, as long as there isn't drama.
Yeah, so you talked a little bit about the topics, but can you talk a little bit about your creator, like bookish content process of how you do things? Like, I know some of your videos can be longer. Like, how do you do all that in your when you're going through it?
Yeah, so that's always a bit difficult. Like on the TikTok side, it's very, very simple. You can get a sound and you can just match that sound. And I do a lot of like quick book recommendations on TikTok as well, like with no face. So with that one, that's more so like which what is the theme of the book that of the books that I want to recommend. So am I doing a fantasy book recommendation or all women written book recommendation. So I'll decide on a theme when it comes to TikTok. Select the books, obviously get the sound, and then record snip by snip for my transitions. And then obviously bring it all together in the app and just kind of save it as a draft for later until I'm ready to record. It would be really great if TikTok could help us to schedule it. That'd be great. On the YouTube side is different depending on like what I'm speaking on. So if it's a classic book review, I have two styles of book reviewing. I can just do a classic rant where I'm just going off the top of the dome on what I remember, what I thought, and that can just lead to a bunch of screaming, but those are always fun. Or it can be like actually very, very structured. And I have like obviously like my book journal that has like all of my like book reviews and book thoughts. And at that point, I am actually I'll sit in front of the camera and then I'll go point by point and I'll record the points by point for each. So, you know, with plot, storyline, characters and stuff like that, I'll, you know, record the snippet and at the end they all have to come together. I use CapCut to like edit my videos. Everything comes together. I personally try to edit immediately after I record because I just find it easier that way. And I actually just enjoy going through like, you know, the edits and snippets, and it's just kind of like a fun thing to do all at once. Um, and when it comes to the drama or just bookish topics that I want to speak on, research, definitely research. So book Twitter always seems to have a lot of the information. I feel like they kind of break the news usually breaks out on Twitter first. And then to see if I can find any extra information on TikTok because surprisingly they also have a lot of information and a cheeky Google search as well. I will do. I'm just like, has anyone actually, you know, written an article about this? Any proof? So research when it comes to like the actual bookish discussions. First off, make all of my notes, and then actually try to structure how I'm going to speak about it. So that is like how I plan it. Sometimes I do go off the rails depending on the topic and how emotionally chaotic that topic is. But you know, for the most part, I stick to like my actual structure that I've written out in the book. And same with like reviews, I'll record in like snippets. It just makes it easier for editing and such. Um, yeah, but that's usually how I record. And when it comes to like how often with YouTube, I try to record 2 videos per week just in case there's one week that I get too busy to record. I have like that, you know, video in the back burner that I'm just like, okay, I know I have a video ready to go out. And with TikToks, I batch record. I definitely batch record. I know that people are just like, they just pick it up in bed. I'm just like, honestly, I cannot be asked. I batch record, I draft them, and then I'll post them. And then with YouTube, I make sure that I'm like, as soon as I edit, and make sure that everything is working, I schedule that as well because I do want to kind of like be consistent, so that people know, okay, you can expect a video from me on this day. And so far, I've been consistent like this year, so I'm proud of that.
No, that consistency is tough, especially when you're a full-time content creator or part-time. It can get real challenging. Uh,
Yeah.
how do you think about community? Like we always talk about it on this podcast, community engaging. Like when it comes to building your community, how do you consider that and talking and engaging with your audience?
It's really like I think that's one of the best parts. Like the like actually engaging with them. Like um and sometimes they don't even like, you know, respond about the video. They'll just be like, you know, just like a side note, I like your hair today. And it's the cutest thing. And I always let them know in videos how much I like just appreciate their comments, just to like actually be able to, even though you're not in person, you know, we can still actually have a discussion on it. So I love that. And that's why I actually love you know, the videos where I'm presenting a topic or speaking about drama because it actually opens a discussion, you know, about like issues or just what people are thinking. And so this week, specifically, I have upped my community game on the YouTube page. I've just been introducing a lot of polls, just on topics that I've discussed on the page before and topics that I am looking to discuss, just seeing where people's minds are at. And the great thing is people vote on the polls and that's awesome, but then they also leave their comments to explain why they voted the way that they do. And then once again, it opens a discussion again that, you know, we can go back and forth and we can really just either agree or disagree, and that's completely fine. So it's been really, really fun, I think, being on YouTube and seeing that part. And on TikTok is more so like TikTok, I think it's a bit harder. People leave comments, but TikTok isn't the space where people are leaving like, big like chunks of like what they're thinking. So it's more so like quick comments or like, an emoji. And you can definitely engage, but I think you can engage on a deeper level on YouTube. So two different types of engagement, but both really fun still.
If you enjoyed that clip, make sure you head over to www.bookumapp.com to download our app so you can connect with your favorite bookish content creators, start conversations, and start your own book club.